guys, I'm Jen from Just Jen Cosplay, and today I'm gonna do a very quick tutorial on how to make some of these pretty fairy wings. So the first thing to remember is that when you are going to convention, if that's what you're going to wear it for, make sure that you check what the convention allows in terms of size and what they're made out of. I would say that these are what I would call traditional fairy wings, made very much in the style of somebody who does a really fantastic tutorial, is Fancy Fairy Angela. I will link her tutorial in this so that you can watch that yourself. It is a fantastic tutorial. I have made wings from her before when I did my Dark Fae. I'll see if I can edit in a picture here. So you will need a cutting mat, and I use a scalpel. Some people use box cutters. I find these are much more precise, so I would recommend something more like this, and you can get replacement blades. You will need contact adhesive. This is the brand I use. There are other brands available, and I use a palette knife for spreading my glue because I find it gives a much better finish. Basically, contact adhesive, the way it works is the thinner that they are on contact, they glue. So just as a little tip, add your glue, you wait the time. Different brands have a slightly different waiting time, they will tell you. I believe this one is at least 4 minutes. Oh, here we go. This one says 20 minutes. So there you go. So basically, when you spread your glue, leave it as long as possible until it is literally, you should be able to touch it and it's just tacky, and then when you stick them together, hence the reason it's called contact adhesive. When it makes contact, it glues. You're done. Right. So for the wings, for a traditional fairy wing, you'll have some form of adhesive, sticky back plastic, and cellophane. So I have this in the two different colours because that happen to be the colours of my wings, which are specifically for Fairy Court Prestige Katarina. There you go. So I had the purple and I had the yellow. So this is sort of the end result, and the reason they look like this very pretty, shiny sort of mosaic view. I'm trying to see if I can get, there you go, when you see the colour come through it. Yes, so pretty. And that is achieved from this stuff. So this is the stuff that you put on bathroom windows to give yourself privacy. And this just specifically looks like this. Anyway, there is a slightly more shimmery shiny side and a slightly less shimmery shiny side. That's because you have like a backing that you'll take off. So I found it really easy I spread it out, I drew on the shape that I wanted. I then did the same with the cellophane so that I could make sure it all lined up, and then I would slowly peel back the backing on this to then stick the purple and the yellow in place. Now, as you can see, you've got the purple up to here, and then this is the yellow. So getting these lined up was actually really difficult. Now, I'm going to just say that this took me about 100 hours to make these wings, because I literally took a picture of the in-game model. I sketched that in Photoshop. You can obviously use other options, and then transferred that so it became like a line art, which I then printed on paper and then cut out to make sure that the size was right. And then I traced it into the foam. So this is CF100 from Polyprops because I wanted some rigidity. You don't have to use that. CF100 is a slightly heavier foam, but it does mean that it's already got less movement than like a CF65 or craft foam, which is a lot less dense. An idea being, this is a much, see how like this is very wibbly wobbly, this is just a craft foam, whereas CF100 has more rigidity in it. Now I cut these shapes out so I knew what shape it was, and so this is both 5mm stuck together, and this is 2mm stuck together. So there are yeah, all of this is the 5, this is the 2, and then in between is where I sandwich the sticky goop that I've made. Inside these also runs wire, so this is why I say they're like traditional fairy wings that then come down into a U shape, which slots down into a corset that I wear whilst I've got them. They have quite a lot of movement. You can see they wiggle and they wobble. This was on purpose because I find that at Comic-Con people will inevitably walk into you, whether or not they mean to. People do bash into you. So I specifically wanted wings that had some give in them, so that as and when I was hit, they wouldn't just shatter or break, which I have seen happen at Comic-Con, which is why I kind of say, think about where you're going and what you want to achieve, what kind of look you want, and also in particular on size. So these two are quite upright. These are slightly more out, and you can kind of see, here we go, here, where there's become a little bit of damage, where they just got tapped by somebody. It's on both sides, because this is, you think about it, this is a weak point. But yeah, it's not, I've worn these to MCM, which is, you know, a very busy Comic-Con in London, and they still look pretty good, I think. And then yeah, I use gilding wax to paint my metallic colours, because I have found that gilding wax is just very shiny and pretty and I love it. And I primed these with Polyprops Hex Flex in black as well, just in case anybody needed to know any of that. And then this is black electrical tape that I've just used to wind around the wire. You don't have to use black, you can use any colour you want. I find black for me, because I had a black corset on, and this was black as well, so it just kind of fitted in with the look of everything. And there you go, that's it. There's some black tape. The other thing that I would recommend people looking into, I use a Dremel, other rotary tools available, to sand down all the sides. And just to give you some idea of the way I went about this, as I said, was drawing it out, putting it into paper first, and then I put it over into foam. All of the foam I stuck together not very well. You know how I was saying about leaving it and spreading it? I just sort of dabbed some bits along and stuck it all together so that I could sand it all first before I put that mirror finish in the middle. This is some of the bits that I cut out, so you can kind of see one side is much flatter than the other. So remember that when you're sticking it, you probably want this side on the front versus that side, because when the light hits and comes through, you get all this beautiful, yeah, you can see it much better on the video there, isn't that? Much flatter side. So just think about things like that when you are putting out when you're planning it. But yeah, if you've got any questions, do let me know. I didn't want to make this too long. It's already at like 8 minutes. So yeah, if I haven't explained anything too well, do let me know. Ask some questions in the bottom and I can either do some close-ups or videos or pictures or whatever it is that you need to help you. Good luck with making some fairy wings. Enjoy it. Have fun. I love wings. They're great. Goodbye, guys.